Hello, welcome to another monthly studio check-in. So this is a series of videos that I've been doing where I walk you through the income that I made in my art business for the previous month, the expenses I had, and also how my health impacted my ability to work in my business during that month. So this will be a look at the month of July 2026. My name's Leanne. I am a full-time artist and metalsmith. I have a business called Leanne Allison Designs, where I sell my art and hand-painted jewellery. And basically, this is a look at how things went for me during that month. I've been struggling lately in my art business. Things haven't been going well. There's been a combination of my own health and just the economy. Things have been very, very slow. I haven't had the opportunities that I had sort of late last year. So I'm at that point where I'm trying to gain a bit more momentum and to find some different opportunities and explore some other income streams, because the things that I'm doing at the moment, they're not enough to make my business sustainable. Okay, so I will take you through my income first. I did make some income from an external source. I can't work what would be classed as a normal job outside of my business because of my health, but I do some work on a platform called Askable. I've spoken about it before. It is a market research platform, and I can go on there. I can do different tasks, and I can earn money through that, which is great. It helps to inject a little bit more money into my business if I'm having a slower business month. And sometimes it's great because I can use that money for either personal things or within the household budget as well. So I made $35 from tasks on Askable. That's not a lot of money, but it's better than it has been in previous months. There's been a few more things for me to do on there. Not as many as I would like, but it's still better. Once my business is at that point where it is earning a much better income, I will hopefully not have to do the Askable work anymore. I had been looking at getting a casual job or a part-time job, but my headaches just really make that just almost impossible to do. So I just have to stick with what I can do for the moment. So $35 from external sources. And then within my business, some of these things I am absolutely super proud of. Now, I am completely and utterly grateful for every cent that comes into my business, but there are a couple here that were really, really exciting. So the first one is $61.60 from Creek and Bay. That's a shop that I stock my products in. It is a gorgeous shop. It's in Seaford in Victoria. So the $61.60 is the figure that I get after the commission has already been taken out. So at Creek and Bay, I sell earrings, children's books, and cards. So that will be a mixture of different things that's sold there for that amount of money. I then made $6 on Etsy. This was really cool. So back in June, I listed a winter solstice printable and a summer solstice printable. And I didn't expect them to sell until the next lot of solstices came around. But somebody in July decided that they wanted both the winter one and the summer one. They obviously wanted to do a mid-year reflection. So that was really exciting. So it was $6, $3 per pack. Now, I didn't get to hear the cha-ching because I was asleep. It was the middle of the night for me, but it was really nice to wake up to an Etsy notification. Now, I know that that's not a lot of money, but, you know, considering the printables only went up in June, people were able to start finding them in July. So things are starting to move, which is really good. I need to make a lot more printables to pop up on there, and I've been having fun making them. So it's the sort of thing that I try to do when I have a little bit of spare time, or if I'm not feeling 100%, it's much easier to do that than it is to paint or to try and do listings and things like that. So yeah, so $6 from Etsy. And then I made 2 lots of royalty payments from Amazon. So these are for a children's book that I wrote. So I wrote a children's book last year, and then I did a follow-up book in May of this year. So these are payments from May that have finally been paid to me as royalties in July. Oh my goodness. So I had $2.11. So that was a royalty payment for an ebook. And then there was $19.10. So that was from some hard copies of books. The really funny thing about that is that pretty much all of that is due to the books that my mum bought. So the book is about a tiny toadstool and it's based on my mum. And so all of her friends, she told them about it. They all got excited. They wanted a copy. So she bought a ton of copies from Amazon and then she sold them to her friends. So I got $19.10 in royalties thanks to my mum. So that's pretty cool. So business-wise, I made $88.81 in income. And then including my external income, I made $123.81. I'm not retiring on that. I'm barely even able to feed myself on that. So that not a whole lot of money, but the sources that the money came from were pretty cool. And I was a little bit excited. I need to do a little bit more work with actually promoting my second book, and also I need to get some more stock into Creek and Bay so that they've got more to sell, and get some more printables up on Etsy, and hopefully I can boost the income that I get from there. So $123.81 in total from internal and external sources. Then now comes my expenses for the month. This is where things kind of go off a cliff. $25.96 for Google. As I've mentioned before, that is where I keep my emails. I use Google Workspace. Then I've got $60 for Oak Hill Gallery. Now that is money towards an exhibition payment. So I've been paying off my exhibition fee. The exhibition is going to happen in August, which is this month, but I have been paying it off over time. $43.38 to Seaford North Primary School. That again is for market stall fees. $20 to Made It. Made It is the Australian handmade platform. It's a little bit like Etsy, but as I've said before, it is way cooler. And $3.86 for Etsy fees. So that was the sale fees for the 2 printables that I sold, and also some listing fees for some other printables that I've put up. So my total expenses were $153.20. So $153.20 and an income of $123.81. That's negative $29.39. So I did not make a profit this month. And some of that money had to come from external sources and the rest came from my savings. The good part is that the $60 to Oak Hill Gallery, I should make that back without a problem once the exhibition is on, because that is actually money that is coming in from sales of pieces of art. So that is great. I should be able to cover all of my exhibition costs, hopefully. Then the $43.38 for Seaford North Primary School, that's obviously a market stall fee. The market is on the last weekend in August, so I should be able to recoup that too. So hopefully August will actually pay for all of this stuff. The Made It fee, that's $20 per month. I haven't been doing a lot of work on Made It. I need to get into it and put a lot more products up, especially in the lead up to Christmas. I didn't do much on there during July because I was actually painting all the pieces for my exhibition, or a lot of the pieces. There were 14 pieces that I wanted to create. I had a couple already done, so I needed to finish some others and just create others from scratch. So that kind of limited the time that I had to do other things. So that wasn't helpful when it came to, creating income. So basically, there are three things there that I could easily cover just by making sales at the respective places. So yeah, you'll also note that there's no Canva on there, and there's also no Photoshop. I cancelled those for the time being. I think I will need to reinstate Canva for August, but Photoshop I'm just hanging off for the time being because there's just not enough coming in at the moment. I am, as I said, super grateful for every cent that came in. I'm also super grateful for every cent that went out because it went to things that were important to me or my business. So yeah. Now health. I have some really good news here. So my health, the only things that I paid out for were medication, which I'm not going to add here. I never do. But I paid $100 for my appointment for my headache specialist. And he has said to me, things are going so well, I only have to see him once a month now, which is great. I had a couple of moderate headaches, nothing really severe, and I didn't have little headaches every day, which was great. So things have really settled there. I had a doctor's appointment. Actually, I had two. And the great part about that was that he bulk billed me. So I didn't have to pay for my doctor's appointments. I went to the dentist a couple of times, a new dentist, and I didn't have to pay anything there. So yeah, health-wise, things were so much better for the month of July. I've also got to the point where I spoke previously about needing some dental implants. I have, with the help of an outside company, we have submitted the paperwork to the Australian Taxation Office. We just need the ATO to sign off on that. And once that happens, I can go ahead with my surgery. I don't know if that's going to be sort of within the 14 days that they've been turning things around lately, or whether it will run over that. If it does, then I might have to postpone the surgery for a little while. But yeah, because that's going to cost me $38,000. Now, that is definitely not coming out of my business or my household budget. Yeah, you know, if you can do any kind of maths, $123.81 and $38,000, there is a sizable gap between those two. But yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get a compassionate release of super and take that money from my retirement fund. So that's how health is going. So basically, I feel like income beat health this year. I didn't have as much health expenses, but also I had a lot of time to actually work on things, which was really, really cool. Now, a couple of things that I am looking at doing in the next few months. I do have some markets booked in. I applied for some new markets. One of them I got into for September, and then it'll just be a monthly basis. They'll just decide who gets in each month. Two others I actually got declined because they didn't have enough space for my particular work. But if something pops up during the season, they will give me a shout. Oak Hill Gallery, their market is going to be back up and running again each month, so I should be able to have a spot at that for October, November, December, January, February and March, which is good. And then other than that, it's just kind of looking and seeing what comes up and what I want to do. I need to try and crack on with some more printables, especially ones that are Christmassy in the lead up to Christmas. I want to also make a printable pack to go with my children's books. I need to focus on promoting my children's books more because that is, you know, an extra stream of income for me. And then there are a couple of other things that I really, really want to do. So I would love to be able to start making wedding stationery. I am addicted to stationery. I am so addicted to wedding stationery. I love how beautiful it is and all of that sort of stuff. It's gorgeous and I love it. And I want to be able to make a more sustainable version for people who want something that is just a little more eco-friendly. It will probably be a sideline business. I don't know that I will have it as part of my main business, but it's also something that my partner can help me with as well. So I can, you know, pay him a little bit of money too. And the other big thing that I want to do is I want to be able to record some videos, both for Skillshare and just for something like maybe Buy Me a Coffee, where you can go on and you can learn how to paint some of the things that I painted for my exhibition. So I painted a tram that I really love. There was Flinders Street Station. There were some beach boxes. And there was a couple of other little things. And I thought it would just be nice to repaint them, like paint them again and video them and then, yeah, sell them as just a tutorial on how to paint something that's it's fairly simple and loose, but I just thought that they were really, really cool. So that's my plans sort of for the next few months. I will have a lot more going on between now and Christmas than I have had in these last few months. So hopefully that means that my income can increase. If I'm getting to the point where I'm feeling a lot better, I might be able to do some casual work for somebody else, but I'm hoping that my business just absolutely takes off and that I am able to just do that full time. All right, that brings us to the end of another video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm at that point now where I'm feeling a lot more optimistic and enthusiastic, and things they feel like they're looking brighter, which is awesome. All right, I will see you again at the end of, or the start of September for August's video. I have a feeling that I'm going to have a lot more awesome figures for August, especially with the market that I've got and the gallery exhibition, because I know there are some paintings that I've done and I just know they're going to sell. So that is just, it's way too cool. All right, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.